Madison, the Division II title game in WIAA, featuring the defending champion Kimberly Papermakers and the first-timers, the Verona Wildcats. A warm welcome here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. It is chilly, but Jamie Vanderbilt's hot and ready to go. I'm Craig Kishon, and I'll tell you what, we've got a team that was here a year ago and has a lot of experience, and Verona no experience in the title game. What do you think?
Yeah, and with weather conditions being the way they are, with the temperature being the way it is, you would think that's going to favor Kimberly because they've been there before. They know how to handle this, but you never know. There's always a wild card out there.
Yep, certainly is. And let's take a look at both of these teams now. And I mentioned Kimberly has been here before, and Tyler Wolf, the senior quarterback, has as well impressive numbers his senior year.
Yeah, pretty balanced attack for Kimberly. They throw the ball well, extremely well with Tyler Wolf, but they also run the ball well on the ground.
Verona running it well. Cameron Bade, the junior running back, more than 1,500 yards, and he can also catch the football as well.
Yeah, strong kid coming out of the backfield, gets great blocking up front, over 1,500 yards on the year, and what more can you say? It's going to be on the ground for them.
Verona and Kimberly, the Division II state championship coming up from Camp Randall. Kimberly looking to finish off a perfect season. The 2008 WIAA Football Championships on Fox Sports Wisconsin is presented by the Dairy Farm Families of Wisconsin and the Wisconsin Milk Marketing Board. By CHS, resources for enriching lives. And by Wendy's, it's way better than fast food. Back at Camp Randall, the Verona faithful over in the sun on the far side here. Camp Randall ready to take on the Kimberly crowd on the near side. Kimberly's been here before, though, and for more in today's matchup, let's welcome in the third member of our crew, Heather Van Person.
Thank you so much, Craig. And I'm thinking if this game is anything like the Division III final, this one will be just as entertaining as that one. Yeah, let's take a look at these two teams. Kimberly, as you guys have mentioned, is the defending champ. They come out of the SBA. They're 9-0. They'll be wearing the white with the red stripe. They won the championship last year, and an interesting note with this senior class, they've been undefeated all throughout their high school career. Their freshman year, they were undefeated. Sophomore year, when they were on JV. And so if they win this game, they'll remain undefeated and another state championship to add under their belt. Now, Verona, this is their first time in the championship game out of the Big 8 conference. They won 4 straight conference championships, but it's actually been with 2 different divisions. This is their first year with the Big 8, and the last couple times before that, they were in the Badger South Division. They come into this game 8-1, and they'll be on the opposite end in the black, white, and orange. So if anything like the first game, this will be another high-powered, a lot of points tallied up. This will be a pretty exciting one.
All right, Heather, looking forward to it. You're absolutely right. We've had a couple of outstanding games that have gone down to the wire so far in the first 5 championships. Division II about to get underway, and Verona will receive Kimberly. Will kick off. Denny Lang does the kicking duties for Kimberly. And Verona set to receive. Ryan McDonald deep back along with Mason Meyer of the Wildcats. And here we go in Division II. Straight up the middle, McDonald crosses the 25 and is brought down at the 27-yard line. And that's where Verona will start their first offensive series ever in a championship game here in the state finals. Trevor Burmeister is the quarterback. He comes out a 1,300-yard passer. Pretty efficient, 15 touchdowns, only 6 interceptions. Last year they lost in the semis in Division I. Hand off straight up to the 30-yard line. Let's take a look at our CHS starting lineups and take a look at that Verona offense. Shane McCarney anchors that offensive line for the Verona Wildcats. We mentioned Meyer, Peter Kerner as well. Backs in receiver group. Matt Kesnick, good tight end for Verona. Meyer ran the first. And this pass incomplete by Burmeister. He was looking downfield for Matt Call. Let's set up this defense for Kimberly. John Christensen, Nick Harness, and Mike Hardy along that front line. Derek Weinberg, a strong linebacking core, including A.J. Klein. Jamie Wells, Austin Arts among the secondary group for Kimberly. Again, a veteran group to state. They were here a year ago and won it. Have not lost since the final game of the 2006 season. Burmeister rolls right, throws, pass complete. At a first down for the Wildcats. This one goes to Matt Kesnick.
Good play. He rolls out. There's nobody in front of him. He had two options. He could have thrown this ball as he did to Matt, or he could have tucked it and ran. He had a blocker in front of him. Good throw and catch. Gathers it in just before the sideline.
So the Wildcats pick up the first down in the game, keep their first series going. Hand off to Babe. Not a lot of running room on his first carry, maybe a yard to the 50.
Nick Harkness, number 36 for Kimberly, in on that stop. He gets some penetration upfield and able to wrap him up for a short gain.
Verona running the wing T offense. They can also pass very well, as you've seen so far here in their opening drive.
And not afraid to go to the pass. Like you said, it's a balanced attack. They've thrown 2 times already. Ran the ball 3.
Second down and 9. Straight ahead, Bathe again gets the call. And right up the middle, not a lot of room against that Kimberly defense.
No, pretty stiff defense for Kimberly. They don't give up a lot of points. The most they gave up this year was 19. So points are tough to come by. Their playoff run, they gave up 13, 6, 7, and 7. So their defense has played extremely well in the playoffs.
And a timeout call by Trevor Burmeister. So Verona on 3rd down and 6. Trevor, the senior quarterback, not liking what he sees, calls the timeout. 2 state championship game, the Verona Wildcats in Kimberly, the defending champs. Verona on 3rd down and 6 on their opening drive. Just inside Papermaker territory. Burmeister looks to throw, and he'll be taken down at his 45-yard line. Kimberly defense comes through. Derek Weinberg with the sack.
And that's one of those plays as an offensive line. These guys on the left side got to turn back to pick up those guys. The back misses a block. And Matt Craig's number 19 for Kimberly takes him down. So execution is key in these big games. You can't afford to make mental errors.
And a running punt by Adam Means, and he gets a really nice roll just inside the 15-yard line, and that's where it will be marked. So the Papermakers start deep in their own territory. What do you call that kind of punt? Is that some kind of Australian rules football punt? Something like that?
I don't know. I haven't seen one of those in a while. Usually when you see a kicker or a punter, I should say, make a movement like that, it's on a quick kick where the ball snapped to the back. And they're going to kick it on 3rd down to try and catch the defense off guard. Haven't seen a true punt like that in a while.
Tyler Wolf in a quarterback for the Papermakers. Hand off straight ahead. Some positive yards for Kimberly. There are his numbers. Tyler Wolf, 1,500 yards passing, 22 touchdowns, just 5 interceptions on the season. They are averaging 46 points in the postseason, this offense. Out of the shotgun. Good pass, complete, first down, Kimberly. And he gets it out to his tight end, Paul Appleton. Here's a look at the CHS starting lineup. Nate Beavers anchors that offensive line for the Papermakers. Josh Shoemaker, the fullback. Denny DeBruin, the running back. And you saw Appleton on the reception. Wolf in control at quarterback. Ball out to the 34-yard line, 1st and 10. Straight ahead, more positive yards for Appleton. Here's the fantastic 4 for Verona. You talk about a real strong defense. Those 4 guys in triple figures when it comes to tackling. And here are some of those names. Here's the linebacking core. Brian Stample. Averuska leading that secondary. 2nd down and 6. Wolf on the keeper. Trying to spin ahead for the 1st down, and it'll be just a little bit short.
One for the Wildcats to play well today. They're going to have their defensive linemen keep those offensive linemen from Kimberly off their linebackers. Those fantastic 4, the reason they're able to make so many plays is because they're not tied up. They can flow to the ball and pursue the ball carrier. If Kimberly's offensive line, which is a well-coached offensive line, they run a very similar type of offense to what you'd see out at Wisconsin from the blocking scheme. If they're able to get up to that 2nd level, they can make it tough on the Wildcats.
Straight ahead. 1st down for Benny DeBruin. Just inside Wildcat territory. They'll mark it at the 49 of Verona.
When Verona has a stunt with their defensive end and tackles on it, it almost takes them out of the play and creates that hole. Just you know, sometimes the offense is going to call a play that's going to get you for the defensive call. And certainly that goes both ways, but in that case, Kimberly had the right call.
Wolf out of the shotgun. Wells in motion. Wolf keeps it. And look at him fight for more yards. Very close to another 1st down for Kimberly.
And Tyler does a nice job securing the football with 2 hands when he gets into that contact. Bucks the left side, takes the handoff, he just follows his blockers, good blocking up front, doesn't get hit until he's got 5 yards. Guys just start to try and rip the ball out, he puts 2 hands on it, picks up some great yards, 9 yards on that 1st down run.
Kimberly on the move. Straight ahead, another big run at 1st down to follow. Josh Schumacher.
Watch this play. It's going to come from the right. Huge hole. Left side of the offensive line washes down that whole left side of that defense, creating that large hole.
Schumacher, 5'8", 191. Ball of energy for that side. DeBruin back. Wolf's going to pass this time, and it's complete to Wells. And a pretty efficient offense on the opening drive for the Papermakers, showing why they went unbeaten all season long. Got a rhythm going.
Exactly. He takes it out of shotgun, 1 step, and he throws it to his wide receiver, asking the wide receiver to beat 1 man. And he doesn't beat him in that play, but he certainly picks up nice yards, and he ends up with a 6-yard gain.
DeBruin gets the call. Fights for yards, enough to pick up a 1st down.
And if you watch that play, he's just hiding behind his offensive line. If you can't find a hole, just tuck it in behind those guys and let them move the pile.
Another 1st down for the Papermakers. They're at the 21 of the Wildcats. Ball bobbled a bit, but DeBruin takes the handoff and down to the 15-yard line. They are getting some major yards on each carry on 1st down.
Yeah, they're clicking right now. If you're Verona, you got to do something to try and take them out of this rhythm. They almost take it out of their own rhythm by almost fumbling that ball, but still able to gather it and pick up a nice gain. The Wildcats have to do something defensively to either shore up that line of scrimmage so those holes aren't created, or get some type of penetration to disrupt that action in the backfield.
DeBruin again. gets closer to another first down, but short.
Brian Stamfel, number 3, one of the senior captains for the Wildcats, steps in, makes a nice hit, stopping him short of the first down.
3rd down and 1 for Kimberly. Each team has had the ball once here in the opening quarter. Wolf gets it to DeBruin, and he is slowed up in the backfield and brought down shy of the first down.
Yeah, and just like I talked about 2 plays ago, they got to get some penetration. That's exactly what they get here with number 51, Robbie Zoads. He's going to be on the right side of the screen. He's right there. If we freeze it, forcing the running back to turn it back in, and here's the pursuit. The more penetration you get in that backfield, it forces the running backs to switch your feet around, change direction. More often than not, you're going to get a good play out of it as a defense.
On 4th and 2, pass incomplete, hits the ground, and Verona's defense holds, bends, but doesn't break in the red zone. So Kimberly had a rhythm going, but Verona got some penetration finally in the backfield to break up that rhythm. UW sideline and a familiar face to these parts, Mike Verstegen, and another familiar face, the former Badger, and now the Badger head coach here is Brett Bielema. Watching from the sideline of this Division II state championship game. Badgers close out the regular season tomorrow against Cal Poly here at Camp Randall. Verona's defense, the story right now, they stop Kimberly inside the red zone. And now let's see what their offense can produce. Carrying the football there for Verona is Ryan McDonald. The Wildcats have become used to the name underdog throughout the season. It was their first year in Madison's Big 8 conference. They went 8-1, only lost to Middleton, and Middleton survived a playoff run up through the semifinals just a week ago. Pass downfield and nearly complete, but McDonald can't hang on to it. Good toss by Burmeister.
Yeah, that ball's thrown right where it needs to be. A great play by the Papermakers, number 26, Austin Arts. Watch him come in at the last second. This ball should be hugged immediately. But Austin takes that right hand down just as the ball gets there. Perfect timing. Good clean play. Just can't pull it in. So close, but no cigar.
3rd down and 5 for the Wildcats. They're at their own 18-yard line. Burmeister to his right. Throws. And complete. First down, Verona.
They like to roll him to the sideline. So far, he's been rolling quite a bit to his right when he throws. The reason they're rolling him is it gives him extra time to pick out a target and get his receivers open. That ball's thrown right on the sideline. His receiver does a good job keeping that right foot in bounds. And they pick up a first down.
And Diva Malafa on the reception, a sophomore tight end. So Verona, a little more breathing room out to their 26-yard line after the first down. Babe stays on his feet, picks up another first down for the Wildcats.
Well, it's a nice job up front initially by Kimberly's defensive front. They're able to stuff him in the hole, but they forget to wrap him up. He breaks through and ends up picking up a first down. And another good play by number 26, Austin Arts, to save what could have been an even larger game.
Verona out at their 37-yard line. Out of the near side. Stacked up after a yard or two gain for Mason Meyer.
Yeah, and Mason, if he could do that over again, wouldn't slow down. He'd hit that corner as hard as he could. He's trying to set up his block. He thinks it's going to end up being a kickout block with his pulling guard. His guard kind of, instead of being the guy delivering the punch, kind of got blown up, and it forced him to bounce it outside. Could have been bigger.
He got about 2, so 2nd down and 8. Burmeister looks to throw again over the middle, and this one deflected away. Coverage out there for Kimberly for Jamie Wells.
He's got to lead his receiver. If he leads that receiver, this is a good throw and catch. I mean, you can't float it out there over the middle and allow the defensive back an opportunity to make a play on the ball. Got to get that out in front of that receiver where he's the only one who can make a play on it, so he can catch the ball in full speed with his arms outreached.
Looking for Ndiva again, who already has 1 reception. Good target, the sophomore at 6'3", 190. 3rd down and 8. Burmeister back, heavy rush, ball nearly intercepted. Mike Hardy of Kimberly not quite expecting that near gift.
No, and that's good coaching. Watch Mike Hardy, number 88. He's just going to put the brakes on. He's the only one of his defensive line buddies that sniffs that out. Sometimes as a pass rusher, as a defensive lineman, if I get in that backfield and it's too easy, something might be wrong. And that time Mike Hardy sniffed it out and made a great play.
And a beautiful punt by Adam Meeks. He drives Wells back to Wells on the return. He gets all of that punt back and gets well into Verona territory, all the way down to the 37-yard line. Actually, they'll mark it at the 41.
Yeah, what I think the reason they're punting the ball the way they are is to give their guys more time to get downfield and cover the punt. This time it didn't really work. They were able to set up a wall on the sideline. He runs down and picks up a great gain, giving his offense a short field to work with here.
And Means, the punter, was able to make the tackle.
I'm sure he didn't want to be the guy making the tackle, but he had no choice in that situation.
Tyler Wolf, quarterback in this offense. Handoff goes to Wells, trying to turn the corner. Gets inside the 40, pushed out at the 38, gain of 3.
Yeah, it's a good job by the Wildcat defense stretching that play out. The quicker a running back can turn his shoulders upfield, the better off he's going to be. And on this play, they don't allow number 31, the ball carrier, Derek Weinenberg, to turn his shoulders and get upfield. They force him to stretch to the sideline. It's easy to take a guy out when he's running sideways.
2nd and 8. Again, it's Wells. Look at Verona's defense meet him right at the 35-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down and 5 from there.
Here's a tough defense, trying to recover after initially getting driven off the ball, but a good form tackle. Does enough to slow him down to let everybody else come and help.
Third and 5 for Kimberly. No flags, whistles, and the quarter comes to an end. Glad someone's paying attention. Fast quarter. First 12 minutes in the book. No score. Kimberly, the defending champs, against Verona in for the first time. Start of the 2nd quarter, Kimberly and Verona, Division II state championship. 3rd down and 5, Kimberly from Verona's 35. Wolf going to take it himself. First down and more. 20 more. Finally knocked out of bounds at the 9-yard line for the Papermakers. Big pickup. 25, 26 yards.
Well, and he gets a bunch of help from his friends. He's got 65. Corey Fritz pulling, being the lead. I'm sorry, 75. Nick Hess, the lead blocker. And then 38, you see him right there. Josh Schumacher gets another great block, allowing him to pick up some extra yards.
Great pictures and audio from our crew. Schumacher takes it down to the 5-yard line for Kimberly. Biggest threat of the day right now, scoring by either team. Last time Kimberly was in Verona's red zone, Verona was able to stop him on downs. 2nd and goal from the 5 coming up for the Papermakers.
Yeah, and you know the way that Kimberly's been playing in the playoffs as far as putting points on the board. It's only a matter of time until they do it. This is only the 2nd time they've had the ball, and they're knocking on the door again.
Well, straight ahead, touchdown.
Big physical run. He would not be denied. He gets just shy of the goal line, puts his head down and runs through a would-be tackle to pick up that touchdown. There's a huge hole up front. They pull the left guard. And right at the goal line, he's met, but it's too late at that point. He just lowers his shoulder and goes. Pretty impressive drive, dominant drive up front.
Derek Wendler for the extra point, and it is good. So Kimberly, thanks to the touchdown run by Jamie Wells, and they lead Verona 7-0. Jumps out in front of Verona here in the 2nd quarter, 7-0. Quick look at the scoring drive, 5 plays, the short field, 41 yards. In a minute 26, Wells caps it off with the 5-yard touchdown run. So the Papermakers, who haven't lost in more than 2 years, trying to defend its Division II state championship. And the return straight upfield for McDonald of Verona. And the Wildcats will take over and look to counter Kimberly's touchdown. Trotting out is Trevor Burmeister. As I mentioned, Verona going from Division II to Division I as far as conference play goes this year, but ironically go back down to Division II because the enrollment size for playoff teams. And here they are in their first state championship. Matt Call carries for Verona. Maybe a yard.
Good pursuit by Kimberly. Stretching that play out, not allowing them to get upfield. The Wildcats have to get some momentum offensively. They have to create some holes, give their guys an opportunity to get to the 2nd level, and just give their offense some time to work some things out.
Cameron Babe gets the call, the junior. 3rd down and 5.
Yeah, these are the downs and distances you have to stay out of. 3rd and 1. 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, I can live with. 3rd and 5, it makes it much tougher to call play and then execute that play to pick up the 1st.
Flags, whistles before the snap. And Verona lined up offsides. That makes it even a bigger problem to overcome. 3rd down and long got longer.
Now 3rd and 5 is tough. 3rd and 10 is very tough. So, but you never know. They can throw the ball, sneak somebody across the middle, get a big hit.
In the backfield behind Burmeister. Wade gets the call. Look at him go. Open field. 1st down and plenty more as he's inside Kimberly territory.
Great call. You got Kimberly's defense so stoked up on keying on the play side. They forget to play their responsibility. They sneak number 27 through. 27's Ryan McDonald. And he's got nothing but daylight once he turns the corner. He's going to come to the right side of your screen. He's got a lead blocker in front. Wide receiver blocking for him downfield, and they turn a 3rd and 9 into a big 1st down.
19-yard pickup for Ryan McDonald. Straight ahead down to the 40-yard line. Steve Jorgensen, Kimberly's coach, in opposing this wing T of Verona. He's seen him before, but says Verona runs it nearly perfectly. He says they're experts at it. Something that has helped really in this last decade for Verona since Dave Richardson took over as head coach.
Well, with the wing T, you're going to get a lot of short run games. but you're also going to get some nice big ones as well because it's such a quick-hitting offense.
Second down, about 7. Burmeister getting chased. Unloads, ball caught at the 35-yard line. And making the reception, Matt Kesnick.
And Matt comes up holding his elbow. I'll tell you what. Watch this hit the quarterback's going to take. He gets sandwiched. Trevor Burmeister, he stuck with it. He knew he was going to get it. Threw a good ball. Giving him a shot here at 3rd and 2.
In the backfield with Myers for Verona. Burmeister keeps it himself, very close to the first down, but I think he's going to be about a yard shy.
Yeah, good yard shot. They try and sneak him around the backside, the offensive line. They go left, he goes right. He's got a lead blocker. Nobody to throw to because he's got some pressure quick in his face. Nick Harness, number 36, saw him in there making the tackle. He was pursuing him from the backside.
4th down and 1. Verona's going to go for it. And tripped up in the backfield is Mason Meyer, and Kimberly will take over on downs.
I couldn't tell if he got his feet tangled up with Burmeister, but he was not touched by a papermaker. He just lost his feet. He had the first down if he can stay on his feet. He had nice blocking in front of him right off the left side of the line.
And you knew it. You could tell on the sideline by that last reaction. Now to Bruin. Takes the handoff. And a first down run, 11 more yards for Kimberly.
Yeah, just like that, the momentum swings back to Kimberly. They come and punch you in the mouth with an 11-yard gain. They don't waste a lot of time. They go right at you, try and knock you out.
Wolf gets stood up at the 45-yard line of Verona. It'll be a 9-yard gain. It'll be second down and short from there. And that offensive line doing a nice job so far for the Papermakers. For more on that, let's go down to Heather Van Persen.
Yes, it is, Craig. And just to touch up on what you guys have talked about earlier, the familiar faces on the sideline. Not only does Kimberly's team look like the Badgers, but there is a reason for their offensive line as well to be playing so well. Their offensive line coach is Mike Verstegen, and he graduated from Kimberly, so he is the Kimberly Papermaker grad. He graduated from there in 1990, and he played for Wisconsin under Barry Alvarez and was on the 94 Rose Bowl championship team. Now, granted, Camp Randall looked a little different back then, but I'm sure he can give these guys some pointers, and they've been here a couple times, you know, to understand what it's like to play in Camp Randall. Jamie, I'm wondering, is this kind of around your era that you would have played with Mike?
I did play with Mike. Actually, Mike's 2 years older than I am, so I spent 3 years with Mike and played right next to him. He was a left tackle, I was a left guard. Great guy. He's done a nice job with this Kimberly line.
This time, Wolf gets tripped up in the backfield. Good pursuit for Verona. Jake DeHaven there, number 44. He's a junior linebacker. And they got some penetration into that backfield.
Nowhere to go. They didn't bite on the play fake. They stuck with the quarterback. Shed some blocks, made the tackle.
Loss of 6. Ball marked back to the 44, where it is now second down and call it 17.
Ball's gone.
Pass
Ball's gone.
complete. Matt Maygetter.
Number 4.
And he got some yards back. They'll mark it at the 34-yard line.
Nice play, quick throw. Throw it to receiver. For a 7-yard gain, he turns it upfield and gets you more, giving you a 3rd and 8. quick hitting. They don't waste any time. The quarterback gets the ball, turns, throws it immediately to let his playmakers do what they will with the ball.
Ball's gone.
Ball tipped along the line of Verona. Almost came up with it.
I think that was number 9, Johnny Roach, who got his hand up there and tipped the ball in his pass rush. Watch it coming just as the ball's going to be thrown. Gets his hand up there. That's a pass rush move. If you're not going to get to the quarterback, get your arms up.
Johnny Roach, the junior end, 6'4", good size on the end for the Wildcats. 4th down for the Papermakers and 8. They'll go for it from Verona's 35. Wolf lets it go downfield. Ball is caught. Touchdown. Kimberly. Jamie Wells has been instrumental here in the second quarter to Kimberly's offense and gets his second touchdown. 1 running and now 1 reception.
Well, if you're Verona, you're scratching your head right now because this is a one-man route. They put one guy out in a route. All your defensive backs have to do is do not get beat deep. It's a good ball. It's a good route. But they get behind you, and there's only one guy to cover. Nobody else ran a route. It's unfortunate, but Kimberly catches them off guard on a 4th down at that. 4th and long, and they get a touchdown.
Jamie Wells and a nice throw from Wolf. Lead Verona now 14-0 as you see the scoring drive. 7 plays, 65 yards, a 34-yard reception on a 4th down pass. And look at him go. 3 rushing yards, 3 rushes and a touchdown, 2 receptions and a touchdown. And this guy's orchestrated that work quarterbacking. Tyler Wolf trying for his 2nd championship. McDowell finding some running room for the Wildcats. And a good return up to the 38-yard line. And that's where the Wildcats will start, trailing by 2 touchdowns in the state championship game here in the second quarter.
And if I'm Verona, I need to drive this ball. I need to put up some points. You don't certainly the game's not over if you don't score here, but 3 times Kimberly's had the ball. 3 times they've knocked on the door. You stop them once. You need to get a drive going, put some points on the board. It'll help your confidence. It'll pick up your defense.
Again, not much room to run against Kimberly.
Zach Feeks, number 22, playing on the other side of the ball, so he's getting in that Wildcat backfield, beating the blocker and makes a nice hit.
Loss of 1 for the Wildcats. Another nice hold down to the 46-yard line of Kimberly. 1st down.
1 man to beat, and he couldn't quite do it. A good tackle by Feeks again, number 22, but that's a big hole, quick hitting play. They get him up and in there. They get him to the 2nd level. He's still untouched. Nice job up front by the Wildcat offensive line, opening that hole and staying on the blocks.
And a timeout call by the Papermakers, with Verona all set up at their 46-yard line on a 1st down and 10. Kimberly leading this one 14-0. In the earlier game today in Division III was Reedsburg at 10-3 against Wapaka at 13-0. In the first 3 possessions of the game, Wapaka took a 14-0 lead, but late in the game, an extra point would have tied it by Reedsburg. They elect to go for the 2-point conversion to try to go ahead with under 3 minutes to go in the game, and Wapaka's defense answers the call. Now the Wildcats of Verona scoring a lot and giving up some points here in the playoff race through the semifinals. They went through Badger, Waterford, Franklin, and Sussex Hamilton last week in the semifinals to advance to their first state championship appearance. Kimberly on the other side was dominant offensively and defensively. Simply looking at the score alone, in fact, their closest playoff game so far for Kimberly was last week's 40-7 victory over Marshfield in the semis. Says a lot. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. This time McDermott runs down to the 40-yard line. Good gainer of about 6.
Nice job again. The Wildcat offensive line staying and sustaining, staying on their blocks, sustaining them downfield. They're still getting, Kimberly's still getting penetration in the backfield, forcing some early cuts. But again, as long as they can stay on those blockers and not free them up to make that play in the backfield, you've seen on this drive, it certainly worked well.
This time it's Meyer. And Meyer just gets back to the 40-yard line. Line of scrimmage, no gain.
Here's the replay. Pull the right guard, pull the left guard. There's just nowhere to go. Nice tackle by A.J. Klein, 34.
Third down and 4. There's a look at the third down conversion so far. Verona 3 out of 6. Dave straight ahead, and he'll be just shy of the first down again, maybe about a yard. And Verona in that no man's land will certainly go for it on 4th down and 1. Already trailing in the title game by 14.
Don't need a big play, just need a first.
And a first down as Meyer gets the call.
And that's the same play they ran earlier in this quarter where Meyer tripped up and lost his feet in the backfield. This time they go right back to it. He keeps his feet. And this is a great result. This is what should have happened the first time. He gets a powerful block in front of him. Guys are just getting thrown out of the way. That's a great block by number 15, Cameron Baith. Opening up that hole and getting him the first.
Well, it's good to see him go back to the play that they failed at before. It's part of their bread and butter onto this wing tee. You know, all these guys on both sides of the football, you know, when tackle football starts in 4th grade, you still run some of those basic plays here, especially onto this offense. All kinds of whistles.
Yeah, I think you absolutely nailed that on the head. These junior programs that all these school systems have now, they run the exact same offense that the high school varsity teams are running. They may not run as many plays, but they're running certain parts of it. So some of these kids are starting these offenses at 5th, 6th, 7th grade before they even hit high school.
And that's one thing that Dave Richardson did when he took over 9 years ago. He's in his 9th season. Verona was winless before he took over. And trying to establish a winning program. And anymore, it starts pretty young. First down at 15 after the penalty on the Wildcats. Burmeister going into the air. Pass, caught, touchdown Verona. Adam Means, an over-the-shoulder catch. And just that fast, the deficit gets cut in half.
That was a heck of a throw and catch. That ball's thrown up in the air. There's really not a lot of room to fit this ball in. Zach Tex he's right there. He just can't knock the ball down. It's a great catch over the shoulder. Adam Means right in the corner in the end zone. And they're right back in it. So they answer the call.
And Adam Means had to run over to the sideline and get the block because he's going to kick the extra point. is good. So Verona on the board with just under 2 minutes to go in the half. Check this out.
Good protection up front. He's got plenty of time. He throws a nice spiral. I mean, the defender's right there. Zach Tex is right there. He just swats at it and misses. And Means is able to catch it and bring it in. So up for anybody, offense wins.
14-7 our score. Verona on the board.
And with just under 2 minutes to go in the first half, that's a big confidence booster going into halftime. Now, defensively, you have to stop Kimberly and not allow them to do anything before half. You've been fighting and clawing to get some points on the board. Cut into that 14-point deficit. You've done that now. Let's build on that before half and not allow them to, not allow Kimberly to do something else.
Just goes to show how tough that was for Verona to pull off here in the playoffs. Kimberly's defense has given up just 1 touchdown by a starting offense in the entire 4-game playoff so far. It has been difficult for anyone to do anything against the defending champs. And this is one of the reasons why. They come right back out to Jamie Wells. What more can he do today but score on a kickoff return for a touchdown? 89 yards. And Kimberly gets that 2-touchdown cushion right back.
Well, this is a great run. He's got nice blocking up front, but once he cuts this ball all the way across the field, he's on his own. It's a right return. They got good blocking. He sees an opening and goes all the way across the green. Now watch A.J. Klein, 34, is the only guy in front of him blocking for him. He takes Adam Means out, so he's the only guy that could have stopped him.
I'll tell you something about Jamie Wells. He's ran for a touchdown, caught a touchdown, special teams return for a touchdown.
Is there a cycle in football?
Well, here's it. Now he's verbally committed to Northern Illinois to play baseball. I'm thinking state championship game. If you're watching out of the football program,
get him involved. Well, if this is his last football game of his career, what a way to go out.
Officially an 88-yard return on the kickoff for the touchdown. Let's head back down to the field now and get more on number 21 from Heather Van Person.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Just to expand on what you were talking about with Jamie Wells, just a wonderful performance he's had so far this half, and he's going to play baseball at Northern Illinois. Now, not a lot of athletes in high school can say they've won 1 state championship, but he can say now he's won, if they, win again, 2 in 2 different sports. He won a state championship in baseball for Kimberly 2 years ago, and they were state runner-ups last year. So multi-sport, a very impressive athlete, and I'm sure the second half will provide much more as well.
All right, thanks, Heather. He can wheel it and deal it on the football field. See what Verona's going to do now. Solid return for Ryan McDonald. And Verona still has 96 seconds left on the clock before halftime to do something. They got Kimberly's lead down to 14-7, but in a blink of an eye, Jamie Wells makes it a 21-7 game on the return.
Ryan McDonald on his 3 returns today has done a great job giving their offense good field position. Able to capitalize on that last time. They've got plenty of time to do something with this ball before halftime. It's a minute 36 to go before half.
Meyer the call. Straight up the middle to the 39-yard line. Gets about 3.
A tough 3. I don't know if room there to run on that one. He did a lot of that on his own.
Up the middle, there has not been much so far today given up by Kimberly. This time, Burmeister passes, throw, intercepted. by guess who? Jamie Wells is making a big-time bid for our Wendy's player of the game in the first half.
If I'm him, I'm not coming out for the second. I'm done. I can't get any better. Just the ball's underthrown. It becomes a pretty easy play for him. He's got good coverage on him. There's nothing the receiver can do. He's trying to come back, but the ball's too far underthrown, and that's an easy interception.
I'll tell you right now, if he plays baseball like he's playing football, he'll be in the majors before too long. Some Major League Baseball team's going to want to draft an athlete like that. And he gets the call again. Running to the near side, loses the football. And a late flag comes in.
Well, they're saying the way they're blowing the whistle, they're saying he's down.
Holding call on Kimberly.
So it's not a fumble. He was down. His knee must have been down. But they'll throw a penalty on this as well. They're going to discuss it for a second.
And it's going to be a fumble. Verona has it. And what a key time to get the football. Only 49 seconds. And the placement of the ball, Verona's going to get it at the 42-yard line. Here we go. Here's a look.
Yeah, does he have a knee down? No. It's close. It's close, but that ball definitely pops out.
And it was recovered by Jesse Newton, senior defensive back for Verona. Verona with 2 timeouts left, 49 seconds on the clock, short field at the 42 of the Papermakers. And another whistle stops play, and a timeout for Kimberly.
Kimberly wants to make sure they're prepared for this with 49 seconds left in the half. They certainly don't want to give up any points to give up this 14-point lead that they have.
Well, you could tell Steve Jorgensen is right on top of his game, making sure that nothing gets by his team. And, of course, when you're the head coach, you want to take full responsibility for that.
Well, even if you don't want to, they're going to make you.
No, that's a good point. That's a good point. But a critical time here. The field position advantage for Verona right here, and he knows very well, and he highly respects that offense that Verona has been running. In fact, both coaches respect what's going on for each side. Dave Richardson saying, you know, I've seen a lot of great plays Kimberly's run over the last 2 years, and he said, I'm not going to say I'm original when it comes to making up plays. I'm going to steal the great ones. And he says, I've got some that I've taken from the Kimberly playbook.
Why reinvent the wheel? If somebody's done it and done it well, why not take from that?
1st and 10 for the Wildcats. Bathed in the backfield. Iron motion. Burmeister back to pass. Looks downfield. And his receiver fell down.
Yeah, they got their legs tangled up. It's good no call. Definitely a good no call.
And Diva, the intended receiver. He's the sophomore.
Here's the replay. It's going to happen right in the middle of your screen, coming from the left side. His receiver falls down and actually takes out Kimberly's defensive back. I don't know what he's looking for a flag for, but it was closer to going the other way, if anything.
44 seconds to go.
Not going to throw a flag when guys get tripped up.
This time, McDonald running to the far side, and Dave Richardson calls timeout for Verona. 38 seconds to go. They'll have 1 left here in the first half. 3rd down and long. It's going to be about 3rd down and 9 for the Wildcats.
And Coach Richardson's giving the official an earful for not throwing a flag on that last pass play, but I think if he could see a replay, he'd stop arguing that one. Certainly disappointed. They get back in the game. They're not out of it by any means, but certainly get back into the game. They cut that lead into 7. Very next play, they kick it off. Kimberly answers the call right away. It's a little frustrating, you know. It's like pounding your fist in the sand. It's not going anywhere.
38 seconds to go in the half. Again, this is Verona's first trip to the state championship, and Dave Richardson was saying the other day, you know, it's been going around town and not used to seeing the Christmas lights going up this soon and going to football practice all at the same time. First time experience for the Wildcats to be playing this late in November. They're enjoying the ride, though. Everybody does when they get this far, and there's a difference being here for the first time and then coming here and winning and building your program and coming back. And that's what he's trying to do.
There really is a big difference in having experience and playing here, because it's not new to you. You don't get caught up in the size of the stadium. The field's the same size, but the stadium's certainly bigger.
On 3rd and long, Burmeister throws, pass complete. First down, Verona. And this one to Ndiba again. Becoming a primary target here in the championship game, the young sophomore.
Sense of urgency. The clock stops to move the chains, but they just blow it back in, and Verona's calling their play and getting up there as quick as possible.
Clock rolls, 25 seconds and counting, down to the 25-yard line of Kimberly. Burmeister rolls to his right and throws it into the ground. Stops the clock, 17 seconds to go.
Smart play, get rid of the ball, don't take the sack. I don't know if they would try a field goal from here if they can't pick up any more yards, but certainly you can't afford to take a sack in that situation. Ball's on the 26, just inside the 26-yard line right now. 17 seconds left.
Burmeister back. Now it's a scramble out of there. And he'll be brought down at the 25-yard line. 8 seconds to go. And Verona calls their final timeout. So we're going to have basically 1, maybe 2 plays left, depending upon what's called, from the 25-yard line of Kimberly. Trying to get some points, trailing 21-7 in the Division II state championship game.
I don't think that was a called play for, it wasn't a quarterback draw. I think he got some quick pressure, decided to try and get out of the pocket instead of taking the sack again, which is a smart decision. He just wasn't able to get out of bounds and stop the clock, forcing his coach to call that last time out. I'm sure they'll come out with some type of play towards the sideline or in the end zone, give it one shot. And hopefully if they're not successful, hopefully there's enough time so they can send out a field goal unit.
Well, we've seen a very close game already today in Division III, a 1-point game. And Verona trying to keep it close here at halftime. 8 seconds left.
Ball's gone, the ball's gone.
Jordan Means incomplete, 4 seconds to go. They'll get one more try. Those two connected for Verona's lone touchdown of the game in the same fashion.
Well, it means and Tex, number 22 for Kimberly, have been going at it all day. Last time Means won and pulled it down for a touchdown. This time Zach's not going to let that happen. He gets up higher, bats that down. Good coverage. It's just 2 guys going at it. One guy's got to win that play.
So a field goal try from 42 yards out. And no good. Adam Means gave it a shot, and why not with 4 seconds to go. Strong leg, but this time it won't connect. So Kimberly goes into the locker room with a 21-7 advantage over the Verona Wildcats, thanks to Jamie Wells' big first half. The 2008 WIAA Football Championships on Fox Sports Wisconsin is presented by Rural Mutual Insurance Company, providing a full line of insurance products for Wisconsin's families and businesses. And by Piggly Wiggly, shop the pig and save. Oh, you need the heat when the wind chill is 17 degrees at Camp Randall Stadium. Unbelievably cold for the state football championships. But you know, when you're a player and you're on the field, you're not bothered by those things like we might be up here, Jamie.
No, believe it or not, while you're out there running around, you'll actually sweat. You'll break a sweat, but the key is staying warm, because as soon as you hit that sideline and stand around, you get cold.
I'll tell you, one guy who is definitely not cold is Jamie Wells of Kimberly, and what a job he has done so far here in the first half. He has scored a touchdown in every way you could dream for this Kimberly team, and they lead at 21-7.
Yeah, being the baseball player that he is, he'll relate to this. He's definitely hit the cycle. Other than one blemish, which was a fumble at the end of the first half there. Touchdown receiving the ball, touchdown rushing, touchdown on special teams with a great cutback right here. And he's done everything offensively for this Kimberly team.
And this kickoff return comes right after Verona cut it to 14-7.
Yeah, right when you think Verona's getting back into the game and they're going to start taking control, they hit you with that touchdown return.
Here's a look at the numbers from the first half, and first downs 8 apiece, rushing yards, a little advantage for Kimberly, passing yards, a little bit more for Verona. Overall, fairly even, a turnover for each team, but Kimberly's offense has definitely been more efficient at this point. They've taken advantage of the special teams and defense too. Yeah,
just when you think Verona starts to dig into that lead, Kimberly knocks them back.
Look out down on the sideline, huh? 21-7 Kimberly. And then it was 21-20. Reedsburg later in the fourth quarter. A 2-point conversion comes up just short. And so the champions will pack it. A completed perfect season. 21-20 is the final score at halftime here in Division II. And then Division I championship. Another slugfest expected between two Milwaukee area teams, Homestead and Arrowhead, battling for the third straight time in Division I. Let's look back at the 4 championships on Thursday, the sights and sounds of the WIAA championships. Done so much damage. Jamie Wells, what will the second half hold for us as we come back? The 2008 WIAA Football Championships on Fox Sports Wisconsin is presented by the University of Wisconsin Parkside, celebrating 40 years of creating bright futures for Wisconsin, and by Farmers Insurance. To find an agent near you, call 1-800-FARMERS. Back in Madison, a brilliant sunshiny day, but very, very cold. Temperatures only making it into the low 20s. Wind chill back off into the teens. And Verona trailing here at the break, 21-7 to Kimberly. And let's go down to Dave Richardson's Verona head coach is with our Heather Van Person. Heather?
Yeah, thanks, Craig. And Coach, if you talk about, at halftime, you had the 7 points at the end of the first half. How important was that for you to get that touchdown, to get the momentum coming into the second?
Well, it was huge to get the 7 points, but it was disappointing to have the kickoff return happen against us. He's a great athlete, and we just got to keep the football away from him, and that was kind of a mistake. But it was good to get a score there and then get the ball back and maybe have a score towards the end of the half. But we're pretty happy where we are right now.
Aside from that, what other keys did you talk about at halftime to get things rolling better offensively in the second? Yeah,
I think we're just playing our game. We just got to keep playing our football game. We can't do anything we haven't done in the past. It's just getting our ball to the best people that we have and playing Verona football.
Thank you so much, and good luck in the second.
Thanks, you guys.
Craig, I'll send it back up to you.
Okay, Heather, thanks to Dave Richardson for coming over. Also, Steve Jorgensen before he left, the Kimberly head coach at the break as well. Always good when the coaches take time and spend a moment with us to share their thoughts midway through the game. There's Steve Jorgensen. of Kimberly. His team up 21-7 right now, and I really do think that both coaches, especially Dave here at the end, when you're trailing, you still got to be who you are and hope that that part of your game allows you to continue to stay in it and hope you have a chance at some point.
Well, it's what you do best, and hopefully you can execute it a little bit better if you haven't thus far. But why would you go outside of what you normally do? It's your bread and butter. You know how to do that better than anything. Stick with it. It got you here. Hopefully you get a couple breaks, maybe a turnover, a couple penalties that are going to go your way. You never know. You're right back in it. It's only a 14-point game. A couple big plays, that lead could be washed away. So certainly a long way to go.
Adam Means will kick off for Verona. The third quarter is underway. And this one returned for Kimberly up to the 35-36 yard line, and that's where the paper makers, I should say, will take over. Zach Text on the return. Tyler Wolf, the quarterback for Kimberly. He'll lead this offense back out. He was 4 out of 6, 66 yards and a touchdown. Did not get sacked in the first half. Pretty balanced attack in the first half for the defending champs. They've used all facets of the game. DeBruin to carry. And nearly a first down. Let's flash back to last year. Kimberly wore those white uniforms again in the championship game against DeForest. First appearance, and they took home the title. Rookies no more as they return in 2008 as well, as they have not lost since their last game of 2006. Big squeeze and hug for the coaching staff led by Steve Jorgensen a year ago. And Benny DeBruin carries again, a first down for Kimberly.
Not real fancy. They just kind of get up to the line of scrimmage, line up against you, and go. Not a lot of exotic plays or reverses, that type of play. They just kind of play basic football and hope that they can execute it better than you can.
Just inside Verona territory at the 49-yard line for Kimberly. DeBruin breaks a couple of tackles and turns this one into a nice run down to the 33-yard line.
If he gets one more block, he's gone. It would have been 7 points. Probably a smart decision. Watch the end of this play. From the left side of the screen, you're going to see he's going to get tackled right there. Probably a smart decision by 21, Jamie Wells, who we've talked about quite a bit, to stay off that block.
16-yard pickup. And a couple of more straight ahead. It was kind of chuckling a little bit when Steve Jorgensen was talking to Heather at halftime about how well Jamie Wells has performed. You know, he scored the special teams touchdown. He scored on a pass, scored on a run, intercepted a ball, and said, yeah, but you know what? He fumbled. That's what I'm going to remember most. Not really remember most, but got to stay on him, right? Only half the football played, 1 half to go.
Well, if he wouldn't be focusing in on where he could improve himself, he wouldn't be a coach.
That's right. Or dad. Ball at the 29. 3rd down and 5. Wolf got Bruin in a flinch, but not offsides. And DeBruin trying to keep his legs going down to the 25-yard line. He's going to be about a yard and a half shy of that first down. So a long one on 4th down coming up for Kimberly. And they will go for it.
Extremely important down. If they can get this ball back to their offense without any more points on the board, it'll certainly help the Wildcats' opportunities.
DeBruin straight ahead. Right in up for the first down. He gets all the way down to the 19-yard line. Kimberly winning the battle up front.
Right up the middle, nothing fancy. They pull the left guard, it's just a trap play. 30 trap. Pull that left guard, he kicks out. There's plenty of room.
Jamie Wells goes out to the sideline for Kimberly. Wolf keeps it. And a good open field tackle out there for Verona. Travis Shaw.
Number 7. Travis Shaw.
Toughest play in football to make, in my mind, as a defensive back, is that open field tackle, one-on-one. There's so much room for, and so many moves an offensive player can make, and you just got to focus in on that torso and do things right, and he's able to hold on to a leg and bring him down.
Red zone for Kimberly. 1 out of 2 and scoring touchdowns. DeBruin breaks the tackle, turns the corner. And he's out inside the 1-yard line. Got to the pylon, but was forced out before he touched it.
Well, that time shot for the Wildcats wasn't able to take down DeBruin. Little difference in runner between and Wolf and DeBruin, and DeBruin just barely misses that end zone.
Well, it's down close down there. First and goal. DeBruin going to finish it. Touchdown, Kimberly. Now they've really opened things up against Verona here in the championship game. Look at those impressive numbers for Benny DeBruin. Up over 100 yards. Scores his first touchdown of the game. Derek Wendler in for the extra point for the Papermakers. And he got it. 28-7. Kimberly, their opening drive of the second half. But Kimberly's offense making a statement to open up the second half, taking the opening drive here in the third quarter and marching right downfield. A 10-play, 64-yard drive, and they have really opened things up now and going to make things difficult for Verona. Down 28-7 in the championship game here in Division II. And a touchback. Verona will start from their own 20-yard line. And there's a good look at Benny DeBruin, senior running back for the Papermakers.
Football right there. Bring it in, boys.
Hey, quarterback Tyler Wolf.
Hey, we're going to get the ball back right now, all right? We're going to make another great drive like that. Keep it up, and put it on right here. Makers on 3. 1, 2, 3. Makers!
Great sights and sounds from our crew. Outstanding work. Turning the corner, getting about 5 for the Wildcats. Well, what's Verona have to do now, Jamie? Down 28-7. There's that psychological edge they're going to have to overcome, too, to get back in this, correct?
Yeah, they're going to have to come up with a couple big plays to get back in. I mean, plenty of time. It's midway through the third period here, or third quarter, but definitely got to get some points on the board. And once you do that, then you got to figure out how you're going to stop Kimberly's offense.
Burmeister, pass complete to Meyer. And a big play for the Wildcats all the way down to the 42-yard line of Kimberly.
A couple big plays like that, and you're going to give your team some momentum back. You're going to put some points on the board.
32-yard pickup.
It doesn't have to be fancy. You just got to execute it perfectly.
And they'll mark it about the 43-yard line. 32-yard pickup again for the Wildcats on the pass play. Bade the carrier. A yard to the 42. Kimberly has won every game this season by at least 16 points, and their offensive average 46 a game. This is how difficult the odds were for anyone coming into a championship game to face them. And then you got to look at what their defense has been able to do. Not too shabby in its own right.
Yeah, Verona's kind of in that team that's bent at times, but they haven't broke. Certainly scoring a lot of points, but they've given up some points defensively as well. On the other side, you look at the Papermakers. They've had some games where they've given up a few points. Their season high given points up is 19, and in the playoffs, the most they've given up is 13. So this defense is just playing well. The whole team, for that matter, is playing well at the right time.
Screen goes back to Mike. Look at him run. Is he going to get in? He's caught from behind inside the 5-yard line. And a touchdown saving tackle for Colton Hegel.
Great execution. You got to be perfect right now. He's got blockers out in front, catching Kimberly off guard. Can't quite pick up that last man, get him in the end zone. Good play, Sal. Kimberly doesn't sniff it out as they did in the first half. And a touchdown saving tackle by 23. Colton Hegel. Otherwise, Verona's right back in this thing.
Nice numbers for Burmeister, picking up some big chunks here on this series alone. And again, Meyer stopped along the line of scrimmage. No gain on first down and goal from the 5.
That was a tough run just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Early penetration up front.
Second, guys, second down.
Couldn't quite get a full head of steam to the line of scrimmage to break through, and lucky to have no gain there.
Dave Richardson said you got to stick to what you do best, and this is part of the offense for Verona. Burmeister rolls to his right, throws, broken up, incomplete. He's looking downfield for Matt Kesnick right into the end zone, and they can't connect.
Yeah, that play looked like it developed into something that was a little bit more difficult than it should have been. Early, it looked really, really good. You see 39 there for the Wildcats at the very end of the play. He's actually coming out of the backfield. He should have turned up and been a lead blocker, and Burmeister could have just tucked it in and ran. It was wide open, but they opt for the pass instead. Bring up a 3rd and goal.
Cade is stacked up as soon as he got the football. Maybe lost a yard.
Nick Harkness. Penetration in the backfield, wrapping him up. He just beats his blocker.
So 1st and goal from the 5 turns into 4th and goal, and just inside the 6. Verona desperately needs a touchdown to get back in this game. Thinking about an option throw, and nothing doing on the run. Meyer shut down. So is Verona after 1st and goal at the 5-yard line. They can't get an inch after that.
This looks like a play where they're going to try and throw it back. He decides to run it, tuck it down, and probably picks the wrong guy. Listen to this. A.J. Klein, number 34 for the Papermakers. He's led the way on some blocks, but he also plays a tough defense. Able to force him out of bounds, so they turn it over on downs with no points.
Kimberly's got it at their own 4. Hand off Wells. Stumbles and falls down. Wow. That's about the only thing he's done wrong in my book all game. If you can even fault him for that, he was going so fast.
How does he trip up here? I hate seeing guys go down like that. Back in the old days when it was 4 Seasons carpeting that you played on as AstroTurf, You know, when a guy went down like that running full speed and then he blew his knee out, I mean, just like it just falls for no reason. I didn't see him catch a toe, but he's come out of the game and he's pulling his foot back like he's trying to stretch his calf out.
You're right. Meanwhile, De Bruin gets the call. And in the first down run, he'll get about 8.
Empty set. Eagle. Are you good on empty? Get over here. Hey, empty. Got me shut down.
So while the offense goes to work for Kimberly, the defense gets set with its coaching staff. Now looking at the leg or calf, it looks like.
It could just be a cramp. He's been running all over the place.
De Bruin breaks free. And tackled at the 35-yard line. Travis Shaw perhaps saved a touchdown for the Wildcats.
They don't give you a lot of time to breathe and catch your breath. They just kind of keep going at you and wear you out. They got him right there. You just got to wrap him up. They had him for a 1-yard gain and they didn't wrap him up. He keeps his legs moving. And Schaff's able to save that touchdown.
34 more yards for De Bruin. He has 151. That's going to add to that total. Going to get 11 more.
Close to a first down.
Well, Kimberly really taking over now, Jamie.
Yeah, and that's the way their team is set up. Offensively, they're not going to do it fancy. They're going to come at you, and they're going to try and wear you out so that in the fourth quarter, you know, they can run the ball up and down the field. That's how they're set up. It's not fancy. It's physical.
Wells back in for Kimberly. He's in the backfield. He has the ball. And he gets about 3 or 4 up to the 21-yard line. He's done so much in this ball game. A tremendous first half, scoring 3 times, rushing, receiving, and a kickoff return, and intercepted a pass.
Wildcats need something. They need a turnover. They got to force a fumble, get an interception.
Wells trying to pick a hole, gets inside the 20.
On the right side, he's stopped. By Jake Stagel, number 1.
There's De Bruin on the sideline.
Number 46, David.
A well-deserved breather for him. He has 162 yards rushing. .135 to go in the third quarter. Wells fights for a first down. It looks like he has enough as he gets down close to the 13-yard line. It is a first down for Kimberly.
Assisted by number 46.
And we talked about the Fantastic Four right at the start of the game for the Wildcats. The linebacking core that flies around making plays all over the field. Big part of that's that defensive line, keeping offensive linemen off those guys. Just they haven't been successful at doing that today to free those linebackers up to flow to the ball.
Goes Wells again, and a flag comes in.
There's a flag on the play. Credited with the tackle, number 1, Jake Stagel. Assisted by 88, Nick Senoweth. Indicated ruling flag 2.
Holding on Kimberly.
Kimberly.
Kimberly with its first penalty of the game right there. So they mark the ball back at the 21-yard line. First down, they can pick one up at the 3. Wolf on the keeper. Down to the 16.
Wolf keeps the ball. Tackle tackled by number 84, Matt Gus.
Again, nothing fancy. Get behind those big guys. Let them do the work. As an offensive lineman, when you can consistently run the ball and wear a team out, take a lot of pride in that.
Second down is 17.
Final seconds ticking away at the third quarter. And Kimberly will just let it run out. They have a big advantage right now. And trying to give none to the Verona Wildcats, including the clock. We are through 3 quarters of the Division II state championship game. And Kimberly takes a commanding 28-7 lead over Verona. Now the Kimberly fans are fired up. Their team is a 28-7 lead over Verona. They won the championship a year ago. They're trying for consecutive titles here in Madison in Division II as we get set to start the fourth quarter. And Kimberly on the move again. It is second down and about 3 just outside the 15-yard line of Verona. Wolf looks like he was going to run, now throws, and this one out of bounds. Incomplete. And
Jake Stengel, number 1 for Verona. Good pressure on him, forcing him to throw that ball probably a little bit before he wanted to. At least not allowing him to tuck it under his arm and run it upfield. So a good defensive effort.
Check that on the down and distance. Third down and 13 here for Kimberly. To pick up a first down at the 3 of Verona.
Ball's gone, the ball's gone.
Wolf into the end zone and can't connect with Wells this time. That one falls incomplete, so it's 4th down and long for the Papermakers, and they will try a field goal as Adam Means. Check that. Derek Wentler enters the picture. Spot the ball at the 23, 33-yard field goal attempt. And this one is no good. So the score stays 28-7 Kimberly. 11:45 to go on the ball game.
Wide left to the right side of your screen. Would have been close distance-wise. I think it would have just crossed.
Steve Jorgensen, the head coach of Kimberly, in his 5th season, 45-11. His son Steven's on the team. He's a sophomore tight end. This is special for the whole family. Verona with the ball back. And a good strong run for Ryan McDonald.
Good first down run, 5 yards, 6 yards on the first down. Able to get to that corner, turn it upfield. Again, you can try some trick plays, you can try some exotics. Bread and butter is what's got you here. If you're going to get back in the game, you got to put a couple big plays together back to back.
And up to the 30-yard line, and it looks like it's going to be very close to a first down for Verona. The carry by Babe. And they got it. That's what Verona needs. Need to string a few of these together and then perhaps pop one to try to gain some momentum and get back in this championship game. Kimberly, an outstanding football team in all facets of the game we have seen. The offense, very fluid. The defense, a bend but not break type. They come up with the turnovers that they needed. And then on special teams as well, to return a kickoff 88 yards for a touchdown right after Verona pulls within a touchdown. Says a lot.
Yeah, I don't know of any coaches out there that wouldn't, prior to a game, if you're going to tell them they're going to score points in all 3 phases of the game, they won't take that and run. So if you can do that, all 3 phases of the game are playing well for you. Defense, offense, special teams. They just seem to be firing on all cylinders.
2nd and 9. Burmeister looks downfield, throws. Shows his arm off, but can't connect with his intended receiver down there, Bathe. And it was Zach Tex down coverage for the Papermakers.
Watch the replay. It's just he throws that ball just before he crosses the line of scrimmage. And just out of his reach. That's the shot they were trying to take. If you hit that, it's a big play.
Burmeister trying to run that screen and overshot his intended receiver. That one nearly picked off, but falls incomplete.
He had to get rid of it. If he could have held it another 1/1000 count, he would have been much better off. But he was getting some pressure in his face from the right side. He had to throw the ball when he did. The play just wasn't quite ready.
So on 4th down and 9, Verona forced to punt. Wells, and he's pushed out of bounds immediately. It's going to be Kimberly football when we come back to Camp Randall Stadium in Madison. Everything going the Papermakers' way here in the championship game in Division II over Verona. 28-7 is our score right now. 9:53 to go, and they just forced Verona into a punting situation. So Kimberly has the ball back at their own 45-yard line. Sights and sounds from the game here have been tremendous.
1, 2, 3. Makers!
And back to live action here in the 4th quarter. DeBruin, who has had an outstanding game, short gainer there. But so far in this contest, 162 yards. He scored a touchdown. And he knew the performance that Jamie Wells gave us in the first half. I mean, how you duplicate that or even start in the second?
Just go out and try and do it again. Happened once. Lightning can strike twice.
DeBruin, a couple. And you look at some of the key numbers. Our Farmers Insurance key stat rushing. Kimberly more than doubling up. Verona nearly tripling yards on the ground here today. 274 to 102.
34 tight, 34 tight.
Benny DeBruin's numbers, 164 yards on the ground. 7-yard average. 3rd down and 9 for Kimberly. Wolf to throw. And overshoots his intended receiver out there, Josh Schumacher. So it's 4th down Kimberly, and they will punt the ball away.
Pressure up the middle. The Wildcat defense gets pressure on Wolf as he's trying to throw this ball. Certainly would have affected the way he threw it. This ends up over the wrong shoulder.
First punt of the day, by the way, for Kimberly. And it's blocked. Maybe this is the break Verona needed. Matt Gus picks it up and gets tackled inside the 5-yard line. A touchdown saving tackle by Mitchell Hintz of Kimberly. But Matt Gus and the Wildcats still alive in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, watch this play. It's going to come right up the middle. Great block. Watch Mitchell Hintz, number 7. You see him there. Watch how fast he gets back there. He doesn't get tied up with the blockers. He actually outruns everybody and then comes back to him to make this touchdown saving tackle. But you know, those are the kind of things that you need to get back in this game. You need a handful of them right now.
David Bartkowiak got the block on special teams for Verona, number 46. He's a senior. He wants his playing career to end in a positive win here today. But they have to fight like crazy to get it back. Means tries to turn the corner. I should say Meyer. He gets to the 2. Second down and goal from there.
Trying to run this play to the outside.
Second and goal.
You know, his offensive lineman he's not helping his offensive lineman set up those blocks. They take the really good running backs will set up blocks for their offensive linemen by making shifty moves in the backfield. You can get a defensive person to commit one way or the other. That allows your offensive lineman to tee off on him and create that hole for you. And that time, it just didn't happen on that play.
Clock ticking away under 8 minutes. And again, Kimberly's defense just allowing nothing. Again, as Meyer gets stopped. Logan Hippis, the stop for Kimberly.
Unblocked, he comes in. Nobody's even on him.
Third down and goal. Verona had a first down and goal from the 5 earlier in the third quarter and came up empty. Burmeister keeps it. Touchdown, Verona.
Good effort. He's actually wrapped up before the goal line, but he keeps fighting, keeps those legs pumping, and reaches across the end zone, across the goal line into the end zone. So they're able to capitalize off the turnover. Assuming they get this extra point, that'll be 7 points off turnovers. 14-point game. Weirder things have happened.
7:06 on the clock. Plenty of time, but a big extra point coming up. And the kick by Means is good, so it's a 28-14 game here in the Division II state championship. Verona still alive. Wow, did you hear that?
I did.
What's that mean?
I have nightmares when I hear that. Penn State. And not because we didn't play well there. We actually beat them out there the one time we played them out there, but you just hear it so much. First down, you hear it. Big play, you hear it.
That was the call of the Wildcat. They score. And you saw David Barkowiak, who blocked the punt to help set things up. Ball loose.
He missed the ball. They're trying to catch him by surprise by kicking an onside kick directly out of the huddle. And the kicker missed the ball. The ball went 2 yards. 3 yards, I'm sorry. And it's got to go 10 yards before your team can touch it to try and recover it.
Flag stops play here on Kimberly's first down. And they had a legal motion, false start. Well, just when you think you've seen it all, there's more.
Hey, there's lots of time left. The last thing you want to do if you're Coach Jorgensen is get sloppy.
First and 15 for Kimberly. And this is just what Verona wants.
Yeah.
Suddenly they have to play on the short field. But they figure if Kimberly can push themselves back, it can only help. Get a few of those yards back by Josh Schumacher. It's going to be third down and long. Check that, second down and long. Around the state, Jamie, you could talk to just about anybody, and they'd say this Kimberly team, for one, could play with any team in any division, of course, meaning any other Division I team. It's pretty much their conference anyway. Right. But they could play with the heavyweights of Division I throughout the playoffs, many believe. Just before the snap, whistle stops action again.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly possible until you actually see them in that Division I playoff. Nobody will be able to tell. But they're certainly well coached. They're efficient. They play well. They got good athletes. That's the biggest difference between a Division I school and, say, a Division 6 or 7 school. Not that each don't have good athletes. It's the pool of athletes. It's, you know, Heartland Arrowhead and Homestead with 100 kids on the sideline versus we'll see 25, 30 in those Division 6 and 7 games. You're just by pure numbers, you're going to have a better opportunity to have a better chance out there.
Wells trying to use his speed to turn the corner. Knocked out of bounds at the 39-yard line of Verona.
To kind of finish that thought, Kimberly's certainly got enough guys in the roster to compete with that. You know, tough to say. Both teams the last 3 years that have played in the final for D1 have been out of the Milwaukee area. I don't think Kimberly's played either one of them in any kind of non-conference game that I'm aware of.
Kimberly playing in the Fox Valley Conference, though, so it's more of a Division I conference. Verona the same this year. Big 8 in the Madison, Janesville, Beloit, Middleton, Sun Prairie, all Division I schools. Enrollment-wise, though, Verona fit into Division II this year. Same with Kimberly. And that's a close play there. No call. Incomplete. So 4th down for Kimberly, and they will punt this away again. Ball rests just outside the 39-yard line of Verona.
Now, I know Kimberly's fans didn't like that call, but it was a low ball. Both guys playing for it. Didn't look like pass interference to me.
This time a clean punt. Let's see where it winds up. Oh, it dives nicely inside the 10-yard line. The flag comes in. Mike Hardy, the punter for Kimberly. Had his first attempt blocked, but not this one.
The only thing I can think of is that somebody from maybe Verona pushed one of the paper makers out of bounds and then hit him when he was out of bounds. Because where the flag was thrown, all that was there was white.
They're debating an illegal fair catch, perhaps.
I'd like to know what the definition of that is. Well, how can it be illegal? So they just call it block in the back.
And we're blocking the back against Verona.
There's nobody around the ball. So bad goes to worse from a field position standpoint. Or holding.
Now the call is holding. I mean, the flag came in really pretty late, considering no one touched this ball.
And it's thrown right at the ball. I don't. Okay, where? Where?
In any event, Verona's got the ball at their own 4. Mason Meyer running to the far side of the field, trying to make some positive yards. Can't stop the clock, though. It continues to roll. 5:45 to go. Verona full complement of their 3 timeouts, but they trail in this one by 14, and they're 90 yards away.
Not that it plays a big role in the game at this point, but that call just puzzles me. I don't know. Play on.
Verona on the reverse. Here comes McDonald. Did he get to the first down marker?
I believe he did. We're going to take a look.
First down, Verona. So stop the clock, move the chains. Let's see if Verona can step up the offense here and take advantage of what's left on the clock. Ball put in play. Clock rolls. Approaching 5 minutes to go in the game. Burmeister throws. Pass complete. To Meyer. Up to the 20-yard line. 5-yard gain.
This ends up being a short pass because he's got to throw it a little higher than he wants. Number 19, Matt Craigs, is in his face, the defensive end for the Papermakers. Force him to throw that ball a little differently than he probably wanted to.
Straight ahead for Babe. Still shy of the first down.
One more whistle, yeah, one more, yeah.
Verona hurries up its offense now. 3rd down and 2. Now whistle stops play. Bit of a sloppy finish here in this 4th quarter by both teams. Motion on the Wildcats.
Tried to catch him off balance with a quick snap, subbing a couple guys in, and it's a great idea, but you got to make sure all your guys get set too.
Over the middle. And a nice play defensively for Kimberly. And that's Austin Arts.
And he was actually beat at the beginning of this play, but he's able to recover and come back and knock the ball away. Middle of the field was wide open for a period of time, but good play on the ball.
And Verona calls its first time out with 3:56 to go in the game. They trail this one 28-14. Well, Division II not done quite yet. Verona trying to do something here to force the hand of Kimberly, trailing by 2 touchdowns. But coming up next, a game many of you have been waiting for since last weekend when it was set up that Homestead would face Arrowhead. Back in 2006, these two teams met for the first time. Homestead won. Then last year, Arrowhead took control in the 2007 championship game. And as these two mighty football programs battle it out, believe it or not, the last 2 contests have not even been close. Well, for the first time in any level, we get a rematch for the 3rd consecutive year. What will this year bring? Coming up at 4 o'clock, Jamie.
Well, hopefully a close game. I mean, that would certainly be the
way to go out on a limb.
Yeah. You know, blowouts are great, but you know, for everybody involved, I think a close game is certainly the best. You want to go out, you want to play your best. Both teams competing, and it's the rubber match. That's the way it should be.
4th down for Verona. Burmeister over to Meyer. Eludes 1 tackler. A second. Up to the 25, and maybe he got just enough. It's going to depend upon the spot of the ball. Kimberly said they stopped Verona, and Verona
Back up, please. Hey!
looks to be upset by the spot of the football, but they're going to take a closer look at this. And they're going to bring the chains in from the other side.
It's short. It's short. They needed to almost get to the 25-yard line, and this ball is marked very close to the 24. They're going to be short by the
He did a
ball.
good job stretching with his arm in that football, but it all depends upon where that knee hits the ground. Did he get it? First down, Verona. Didn't see a call made. And that ball on the knee seemed to hit a lot closer to the 25.
Right.
But a good effort Tell you what, when your season's on the line, that's the effort you want to see, because it was marked right on the spot, as it turns out. 1st and 10 for Verona. They're still alive. Burmeister rolls. Pass complete. Up to the 30-yard line. Finds Matt Call. And Matt slew to get up. He took a big hit.
He took a big hit that he never saw coming.
Matt Call, the senior running back for Verona.
They sneak him out of the backfield right after they roll quarterback out. You're going to watch this. He's going to get hit. It's not the first it's the second contact.
Woo.
Yeah. Certainly not a cheap shot by any means, but one that still certainly can knock the cobwebs loose.
So he's going to the sideline to get checked out. And Verona facing a 2nd down and 4 from their own 30. Burmeister looking deep. And this one out of bounds, incomplete. Good battle for the football. Zach Text came up with it, but he battled Mendiva on that one, and that one out of bounds there.
Good protection up front. The offensive line fighting hard for him to give him time to throw that ball. Just going a little wide.
3rd down. Bade the carry. And he'll be just shy. 2:45 and counting. Kimberly up by 2 touchdowns. Tell you what, Jamie, absolutely nothing, and I mean nothing, is coming easy for Verona against this Kimberly defense.
No, it's certainly not. In the first half and even 3rd quarter, they were able to move the ball up and down the field. They just weren't successful hitting the end zone. Right now, they seem to be having a little trouble getting that going again.
Meyer, 1st down. As he's pushed out of bounds up near the 40-yard line. So Verona keeps this drive going. The only thing not going their way is the clock. Only 2:14 left and down 2 scores. And they are huffing and puffing down there, doing their best against a very, very, very quality Kimberly squad.
Yeah, you bet. And the Wildcats certainly aren't giving any less effort because they're down 14. They're fighting as hard as if they were in a 0-0 tie.
Burmeister looks downfield. And a flag comes in. Jamie Wells and Ndiva Malafa. We're going head to head.
Let's see who this is on, because Jamie Wells goes to the ground. He is actually in.
And this one's going to go on to Wells of Kimberly.
Let's see if we can spot this in the replay. It's going to happen right in the middle of the screen. That should have been a no call. It really should have been. They both pause for a second. Ball's thrown and their feet get tangled up. That's one where at this point in the game it doesn't mean a whole lot, but.
Well, the Wildcats will take it. 1st down at the 45 of Kimberly. The screen to Bade, but I'll tell you what, there is nothing doing there. Kimberly had that well played, loss of 5 back to the 50.
Yeah, that's one of those throws after you let it go. You wish you wouldn't, because you know your buddy's going to get hit. They were waiting for him. Kimberly goes no huddle. And so the Wildcats of Verona.
And Burmeister gets a couple of those yards back, but it's going to be 3rd down and long. 1:35 to go in the game. Burmeister looking, throws, incomplete, out of bounds. And it comes down to another 4th down play for Verona to try to keep their season alive. At this point, it would take nothing short of a miracle with 1:21 to go. Down 2 full scores and 48 yards away from the end zone. 4th down and 12. Burmeister looking downfield.
All right.
Throws incomplete. And Kimberly will take over on downs. Kimberly a minute 14 away from completing its 2nd consecutive dream season, a perfect season. Handoff right up the middle to Schumacher.
And perfect careers for these seniors as they have never lost a high school football game.
Last loss to Germantown in the 2006 playoffs, round number 2. 37-14. Since then, unbeaten 2007, unbeaten 2008. And that's pretty impressive considering the school had never been to the championship game before at any level here at Madison, and they came in and looked like they had been here for several years last year, and even more so this year, Jamie.
Yeah, they played extremely well. That first half of football that they played today, specifically the 2nd quarter, where they scored 21 points and shut Verona out in that quarter. They really looked like the dominant team at that point.
Verona calling timeout with 26 seconds to go. So Kimberly will huddle up. Verona one loss during the regular season to Middleton in conference, a team they would wind up sharing a conference title with in their first year, moving up to the Big 8. And they had quite a playoff run in Division II, make it to their first championship. So although loaded with a lot of seniors, just as loaded with a lot of juniors and a couple of sophomores that are playing on the varsity level as well. 3rd down and 5 for Kimberly. And a first down for the Papermakers and then some. Ryan Van Austin takes the carry and seals the deal now for Kimberly. Only 18 seconds to go.
Great job blocking up front. That offensive line for the Papermakers has done an excellent job today, opening up holes. This time they seal an edge. A lot of room to run once you got to that corner.
And a legal substitution on Kimberly. Now they'll do a bunch of substituting and let some guys who haven't gotten in the game yet get in for the final play. Share a bit of that I played on the turf experience. And why not?
Well, they'll tell their kids, they'll tell their grandkids. And this for a lot of high school kids, a lot of high school football players, is the pinnacle of what their athletic careers will be.
And Verona calls their final timeout with 18 seconds to go.
A little bit of a chess match here.
I think they're going to throw in a couple of guys that can now say the same thing.
Absolutely. And they should.
There's Jamie Wells, 21 for Kimberly. Our Wendy's player of the game, 55 yards rushing, including a touchdown. Also a touchdown reception, and a kickoff return for a touchdown, so 3 total. There's your final play of the Division II championship game here at Camp Randall. Congratulations to both Kimberly and Verona. Fun ball game, but Kimberly completes its season unbeaten for the 2nd year in a row and successfully defends its championship in Division II. And Verona making it for the first time in school history to the title game. Gave them a battle, but the final score here this afternoon is Kimberly 28, Verona 14. So the Papermakers are 2 for 2 at state championships. We're going to come back and hear from the winners on the field at Camp Randall here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. State football championship for 2008 stays in Kimberly. They have won their 2nd consecutive title, taking home their first a year ago at 14-0. This year 14-0 as well. They top Verona here this afternoon. 28-14 is the final score. One more champion yet to be crowned, but in this game, a big first half for Jamie Wells, scoring 3 touchdowns 3 different ways. He's standing by with our Heather Van Person. Heather.
Thanks, guys. Jamie, congratulations. The guys just mentioned you did score offensively 3 different ways and had an interception. When you talk about this being another championship for you, how exciting was it for you even more to do this in a championship game? You've been playing well all season, but this one might be a little bit bigger.
Yeah, but special last game, I think, for me. This is what I wanted to do. I come in and score and told coach I want the ball, and they did that for me.
Now, I understand you're going to be playing baseball at Northern Illinois. Why not? If you play as well in baseball as you did football today, I'm sure you'll have a successal carear.
Yeah, it shows baseball. That's what I love the most. My most interest, and I think that's what I have my most future in. I'm not going to pick something I don't love. I like football. I like playing with my guys, and I just think that when I get to college, I'll like baseball more.
Well, congratulations. Go enjoy it. Craig, we'll send it back to you.
Okay, Heather, and thanks to Jamie Wells. Congratulations to Kimberly. Congratulations to Verona. 2 dream seasons for Kimberly. Will take home the gold. Verona will take home that big silver runner-up trophy back to the Verona High School. Earlier today, it was a big win as well in Division III for Wapaka over Reedsburg. One more yet to come. And that, of course, is in Division I. And we've got it live for you here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Homestead and Arrowhead for the 3rd consecutive year. We'll meet here in Madison to decide who is the champion in Division I.